The Chicxulub crater is an impact crater buried under the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. It was made a little more than 66 million years ago when an asteroid about 10 kilometers across hit Earth and killed all the dinosaurs. Scientists have dug way down into the huge hole and found the whole story. The 9-mile-wide missile was sent back to Earth by celestial physics. Asteroid from 66 million years ago that got away from a T-Rex might have been called the Strange New Star. The asteroid hit the Gulf of Mexico at a height of more than 747 miles, making a 20-mile hole and causing mantle cracks. It was brighter than the sun during the last days of the dinosaurs. The hole of the asteroid was soon filled with liquid land peaks. In just 1 hour, Texas and Florida were hit by 300-foot waves and regional infernos above Earth's atmosphere. The asteroid hit a sulfur-rich sea by mistake, releasing chemicals that changed the climate. Stones, a blanket, and acid rain stop it. Photosynthesis fires turned plants that were dying into global globe. Most living things, from bacteria to dinosaurs, died of cold or hunger. Only 55-pound animals made it through the most dangerous sulfur and dust. Joanna Morgan from Imperial College London studies the terrible 75 of life event that ended the 180 million-year dinosaur age. Set firm rules. Ash survivors moved back in. Scientists are looking into how animals did well before dinosaurs. Liquid limestone shelf that made peak ring rocks, whose species changed first during the Cretaceous era, is finally settling arguments that have been going on for decades. The hole will teach people about how the dinosaurs died and how other living things survived similar events a very long time ago. Morgan gets on an open-air boat off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. She is raised by a crane so she can see the Gulf of Mexico. The Apostle Phillips and the coast can't be seen from here. Boat Chicxulub is the best preserved big impact crater, and Myrtle drills over it. 3 years ago, scientists connected the Chicxulub crater to Lewis and Walter Alvarez's idea that the dinosaurs died when a space rock hit them. Crater was found by Caribbean clues. Texas found sand from a storm. The Tech Titans effect was found in Haiti. Geologists from Mexico past impact holes were found in shock ports, and scientists came to the conclusion that it happened in open water loops, which provided a rich environment that was generally bad. Before Morgan got engaged, most scientists thought that the dinosaurs were killed by an asteroid that crashed in Mexico. However, the size of the Chicxulub was still being debated. At that time, not many experts were studying impacts, and the energy of the asteroid depended on how big the crater was. Morgan made jokes that your parents weren't married because of voodoo physics. Gravitational and magnetic anomalies were hidden by mud, but seismologists saw the chance. Morgan began checking for earthquakes in 1996. A big air gun was towed behind a study ship by her team so that the crater can be seen next year. Hildebrand and Sharpton were asked to write a nature paper with her that showed how long the hole was. Morgan had even bigger plans after that. She asked the International Ocean Discovery Program to get 6 cores from the center of the hole that are 2 miles deep. Morgan's offer was shown to her until she cut costs, and then she thought about Morgan's. A geophysicist at UT Austin named Sean Golick, and she worked together to make a 3D website for the iPod. By 2005, the researchers had collected enough earthquake data to figure out the shape of the Chicxulub. They did this by pulling air guns behind their ship and sending 35,000 sound waves to 115 seismometers on land and at sea. Fossils found in New Mexico and Colorado show that an alien destroyed a forest 66 million years ago. Some experts thought that fireballs fell because the atmosphere was so hot. David Kring of the Lunar and Planetary Institute models what happened after Chicxulub and thinks the fire was started by a 36,000-degree Fahrenheit thermal pulse. The fires in North America didn't reach the north. Green says that the fallout caused damage to several ecosystems. Joanna Morgan of Imperial College London and her colleagues looked at how thermal pulses from pine needles couldn't start the canopy, replacing fires. Morgan says the team found that dry leaves caused wildfires, limited sunlight, and trash that dried out Earth's plants. Morgan says the Earth Ablaze suit shows many fires and new forests growing. In 2014, fossilized leaves from North Dakota moved. Evergreens did better than deciduous plants, but after the effect, blooming plants did better than evergreens. Fern spores rose, which means that some spores and seeds made it. According to modern biology, bird-like creatures that lived at the end of the Cretaceous era had beaks without teeth that could eat seeds, and some of them died. Carnivorous dinosaurs dive with their food, but observer eaters live underwater, and the impact scar looks a lot like the Schrödinger crater on the moon. Peak rings surrounded both of the huge craters, but only Chicxulub has a peak ring that is not damaged on Earth, even though there are many rings. Scientists don't know how the inner circle came to be, or why the land couldn't become weak enough to behave like a liquid afterward, as models show. They also don't know about extinctions, rebirth, etc. How do things happen? No need to fly to the moon, Gulick, if you want to test models. We can go there. It was agreed by scientists that a new drilling effort should be made because the $20 million seismic study in 2005 was too expensive. Still, recent drops in the price of oil made a smaller version of this project possible. Morgan, we're lucky that oil is cheap and that oil rigs aren't working. Morgan and Gulick do their work open air. Morgan looks into Santorini. Gulick thinks these are ashes from a Mexican volcano that are 50 million years old. Local disasters aren't as bad as the Cretaceous layer. Scientists think the boundary layer will be hundreds of feet thick and made up of materials from peak rings, tsunami deposits, and melted rocks. They finished drilling almost a mile deep at the end of May. The Cretaceous extinction event had a bigger effect on animals than on plants. Still, plants rule the environment because their seeds and pollen can survive harsh conditions for longer flowering times. Paul says that many of the big animal groups that are still around today were around before the asteroid hit. The dinosaurs, which were not birds, were the first animals to go extinct. In spite of this, dinosaurs lived on as birds. Some burned species did go extinct, but the bird families that finally led to modern birds lived on. At first, the survivors were smaller, and the birds were the first to get bigger. Several groups of very large birds that ate both meat and plants died at the same time as the dinosaurs, beginning the Oligocene epoch. About 15 million years after dinosaurs that weren't birds went extinct, big animals like rhinos started to show up again. Before that, many different kinds of small animals lived on Earth. Their bodies finally got bigger after a while, but their heads kept getting bigger. In April, the National Academy of Sciences looked at hundreds of different types of dinosaurs. Using data on species loss and evolution, we saw that the evolutionary tree had several species reductions. It's possible that sauropods like Brontosaurus began to die 50 million years before July. It took 40 million years for more species to die, and then for the things that killed them to emerge. The team suggests a lot of continental drift volcanism, even though this statistical method can't find the cause. Could the dinosaurs have lived? If the crash had happened somewhere else, Earth's fate would have been different. If the asteroid had hit a few minutes later, it would have hit the lower ocean, melting less rock that would have blocked the sun's light and warmth, which would have made it less likely that species would have died out. After the dinosaurs died out, Paul thinks we might have seen more than just birds. They know about the last 10 million years from western North America. It is known that Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops lived in that part of the world. Dinosaurs seem to be doing well, but the total number of species is going down. We want to know if this trend shows up in other places. It's still a mystery why the dinosaurs might have lived longer while birds, mammals, and reptiles developed. They might not have been as strong. That's all for today. Write your thoughts and let us know if you liked it in the space below. Please like it and follow our station. Thank you for watching.